right now you make $240,000 ish in net cash flow a year. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and then you said that you were only making like $60,000 a year at your job.
So most of my life I made less than 50.
Wow.
In the last few years, I was a police officer. I was in the Marines. I was a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And I got laid off from law enforcement in 2008. And I started teaching at a CDL school, making $17 an hour.
Wow.
So I had 3 kids, single parent, a lot of bad debt. I couldn't qualify to buy a rental.
Yeah.
So I went to a lender and I was like, I'd like to buy rentals, right? You know, and when we don't know, you have a bad credit score, you have a bad debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
You have to be kicked by a lender to say you can't do this. And she casually dropped a sentence that changed everything.
Okay.
She said, there's no way you could qualify, because I found out about $89,000 in bad debt in my name I didn't know existed until the divorce.
Oh, damn.
I was in a bad position. She said, if there's no way you could buy a rental unless you had rental income on your tax returns for 2 years, then if you buy a property, we can look at the rental income on that property. So if you bought a duplex, what will the other side rent for that counts in your income?
Yeah.
75% of it. If you buy a triplex or a fourplex, it was only 4 units or less. I was uneducated. I did not know about seller financing, DSCR loans, asset-based lending, like all the other options I could have took.
Yeah.
I sat back and I said, okay, so I went from my house and I moved into an apartment, rented out the house for 2 years to get started. So 2 years of rental income. I lost money the first year. Banks didn't care. You just had to have rental income. 2 years later, I bought a duplex. So yeah, most of my life I never made $60,000. Until 2019, I made $61,000, and that was my first time breaking 60. And I was like, oh, I made it now. And in 2020 and 2021, the owners of the company I was at realized I was making way more money after investing for 7 years in real estate than I was making at my job. And all of a sudden, in 2020, I made like 180, massive jump. I had no idea what to do with the money. And in 2021, I made like 210, 205 or something like that. So I was starting to make real money. This is when you should stay and do your thing. 2022, I retired and walked away from it all.
Wow. Okay. So do you think the American dream is dead, where people can't build wealth buying real estate today? Because my argument is, you know, a lot of stories of like back in the day, 2013, 2019, 2020, when rates were nothing. Do you think your strategy still works today in 2026?
So I get this question often where somebody says, if you could go back and do anything different, what would you do? And I always stop them. Okay, we can't do that. That's too hypothetical.
Yeah.
But what if I was starting today? This is something we can game theory out, right?
Yeah.
So starting today, I'll repeat what I did in 2013. I saved for 2 years, not going out, driving old vehicles, no vacations. So for 2 years, working all the overtime I can get, I played World of Warcraft and sold things online to make money as a side hustle, like $300 or $400 a month. And in 2 years, I had a whopping 5% down payment on a duplex. Duplexes don't cost much than single family houses. They don't cost twice as much because there's 2 units. They're 10 or 20% more in a lot of markets. So I live in Washington State. It's a very high cost of living area. So duplexes, if a house was $250, the duplexes were $3. Yeah. Right now, houses are $550, duplexes are $6. Right. Yeah. So I'm paying a bit more, but 5% down on a duplex, I had a $15,000 down payment. So today, on a $600,000 duplex, 5% down, you're going to have a $30,000 down payment. So can a family save for 2 years to get to $30,000 in savings? The average person might not do it. Because they have 8 streaming services, the brand new cell phone, the $700 car payment, which means full coverage insurance, the credit card debt from the vacations that they take. The average person, absolutely not. But the person who's willing to put in sacrifice and save for 2 years, 3 years to get to $30,000 to work on their credit score can buy a duplex. Because the thing is, I closed on a duplex in 2013. I wasn't anywhere close to financially free till 2020. So 7 years in, I started to see cash flow. So if somebody started today, congratulations, you are in the graduating class of 2036. Like that's when it starts to have an impact on your life. It doesn't change 2028, 2030, 2032. And so the average person that has that, have you heard the test, the Oreo test? No. Or the marshmallow test, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Take a kid, put him in a chair. They say, I'll give you a marshmallow. If you wait 5 minutes, I'll give you 2.
Yeah.
The kids who waited and got 2 tended to be more financially successful because we can delay gratification. So that's a study that they did. And that teaches me that if you can delay gratification, I was 8 years, no vacation.
Yeah.
8 years, no eating out. 8 years of how many people, I had a lake house. right?
Yeah.
Before the divorce, everything was going good, right? Who would move from a lake house with their 3 kids as a single parent with full custody into an apartment? But I had to. My debt to income ratio was so bad, I had a way around it. So I move into the apartment and rent the house out. People go, that's a step back. I would never do that. My kids were excited. My son was like, the apartment where all the girls live?
Yeah.
Let's move. My daughters were like, I get to be the new person. So until somebody has that conversation with their family, they don't know if they're going to like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Spouse might be a little harder to get on board, but maybe they want to retire too. And I wasn't even trying to retire. That's an accident. All I thought is if I could buy some rentals, my biggest fear was I don't want to become a financial burden to my kids when I get so old I can't work.
Yeah.
Because I'm like 20 years older than you. And a lot of my friends are taking care of their parents. They're on their cell phone plan, their car insurance, maybe even in their house.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I saw how my kids took care of pets. There's no way I wanted that.
Yeah.
So I thought if I owned a few rentals and so-so security, because I was just a truck driver or teaching truck driving. I'm not an entrepreneur. I failed at every business I ever tried. I tried 2. Both of them failed. So I thought, I'm just a W-2 guy. I can buy a few rentals. After 6 years or so, this thing starts to happen called the income snowball. So when you bought your first one, 2016, first few years, probably so you had a family member living. You were definitely not doing it for money. You were doing it for quality of life.
Yeah.
So I was doing it for, I thought when I'm 70, I won't have to live with my kids. But after 6 years, in the beginning, you have 1 rental. But at 6 years, I had 3 duplexes. Every other year, basically, I bought a duplex. The last one was a year and a half, so a little faster. Mm-hmm. But now you raise the rent. It doesn't hit a unit. In the beginning, you only can raise rent on 1 unit or reduce your insurance by raising the deductible. Your premium comes down, or you have a little bit of leverage you can pull. But at about 6 years, once you have 3 or 4 properties, it takes time. It was 2 years between deal. Now you do a small little rent increase. I use my binder strategy where my tenants ask me to raise the rent. It hits 6 units.
What is the strategy? Let's go into that strategy.
Okay.
Was it called the binder strategy?
This is called the binder strategy. This is what I think is the most important thing I want to share with everybody.
Okay.
Right? I made a course and gave it away for free. I don't charge for this course.
You should charge for the course.
I should charge for the course. I agree. I should. And there's some point, because it costs me $400 a month to have this stupid course up.
Really?
I should have the stupid thing. But it helps the tenants and the landlord. So let me explain it.
Okay.
We'll actually do a binder strategy real quick. Okay. So you're the tenant.
Yes.
You're in a house that just got sold. Or a duplex that just got sold. I'm the new owner.
Okay.
Your rents are $1,400.
Yes.
Okay, you've been there a little while. Now, I show up, I'm the new owner. You probably think they're going to kick me out. They're going to jack the rent up. Like, you're scared, right?
Yes.
Like most tenants. So every time I've bought a place, tenants are scared. I don't do it right away. I wait a couple months. I want to see if they pay the rent on time because I didn't get to screen them. Do they call me for trivial stuff? I get noise complaints? Like, I want to vet them. That's the only way I can, 2 months or so. Once I realize I want to keep them or not, if I want to keep them, I show up and we have a meeting. I just say, I want to talk for a few minutes, right? I bring a binder. That's why we call it the binder. It's a 3-ring binder in my hand.
Okay.
The cover of the binder is a picture of the property right off of Redfin or Zillow.
Okay.
And I say, your rent made sense to the previous owner, but this is what I paid. It's literally listed right here on Redfin or Zillow, and your rent doesn't make sense for my taxes, my insurance. And the tenant doesn't care.
Yeah.
They do not care about your expenses. I'm showing transparency. This is from the internet. You have the internet. You can look this up too.
Yeah.
I open the binder. The next page is apartments.com or Zillow, a map screenshot of all the rentals in the area.
Okay.
Right. So if I went to my tenants and I raised the rent $100, I'm a jerk. The new owner was just super mean, right?
Yeah.
But I show, these are all the places that are for rent and that are similar. So 2-bedroom, these are all 2-bedrooms. If you're in a 3-bedroom, these are all 3-bedroom, right? If it has a garage, I try to find garages. The next page is what Section 8 will pay. So what would the government pay me? So in this case, you're paying $14. The government will pay me $19.87.
Yeah.
So that's what it pays in Thurston County, Washington. The next page is what BAH will pay. If you live near a base or a college, what basic allowance for housing for military is. So they'll get compensated in my area like $2,500 to live off base. So if they live on base, they don't get it. If they live off base, they get paid that much. The next is like 5 pages of the screenshot of the actual rentals in our area.
Uh-huh.
So I show you rentals at $2,000, $2,095. I can find some for $2,500. I don't show those. Those are outliers. And I could probably find one for 14 or 15 that is like low income or something. So I don't show those. I find the median. So if they went online, what are they going to see? The most number, the mode, the most commonly occurring number for rent is going to be around $2,000.
Yeah.
So I show that. I go, this is what the government would pay if you move. These are the rentals that are available, what you'd pay if you moved. These are the rents that I would get if you moved out. But I don't want to displace you. And I didn't buy this place to move in, so I don't want to kick you out. You're paying 14. Most of the rents in the area are 2,000. The government would pay me almost 2,000 for this. And I slide you the binder. What rent do you think is fair? So you're paying 14. I show you these. What sounds fair in your head?
14.
14. I've never had a tenant say that. Because what would be the best thing the landlord could do? Kick you out, rehab 2,100. Right?
Yeah.
Get maximum rent. That's what almost every landlord does. A lot of people go, I want you to kick the tenants out before I buy it.
Yeah.
Like I want to buy a vacant unit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that. I was working full time, raising 3 kids. I wanted buy a rental, have a 10-minute meeting, I put in coded locks, motion sensor LED lights, look at the inspection report and think, is there any emergencies? Take care of the small stuff. Never did a rehab in 10 years. Never put in cabinets. I sanded and painted a few in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. So you would say 14. Knowing the landlord's best bet is to say, okay, I'm not going to renew. You have to move out. I'm going to do a rehab.
Yeah.
You would? So you'd
well,
be the
I
first
would,
person.
but obviously the tenant's got to try to negotiate.
Right. So what do you think a tenant would say?
What's the market rent?
So it's 2,000. I've showed you several examples above that.
1,500.
So that's $100 increase.
Yeah.
I've never had one less than 300 yet on this scenario.
Okay.
But if we did 100, you asked for it. Uh-huh. I agreed to it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not a jerk.
Yeah.
You're happy. You're educated on you're $600 or $500 below market rents, and I didn't kick you out. But every time so far, it's been around 300. Sometimes it's 450, and I go, that's great. But how about we only do 350?
Yeah.
Like bring down their thing.
Yeah.
So do this with a couple of your tenants and give me some feedback on what they said to you, because you will never get somebody say the same.
Yeah.
And if somebody said 100, this is what I would say. I would take a piece of paper and I would write 1,400 and 2,000. And then I would draw a line at 1,500 and show that is really fair for you. Do you see how far that is off from me? It's a negotiation. It's not a one-time offer. You're done.
Yeah.
And then if I think I've had a 300 that should have been more because they were like 900 off of rents, and we negotiate up from there.
Yeah.
And then once they agree, they're at least in the conversation. How many tenants have been involved in the conversation of setting their rents?
Yeah.
So I have, along with many other things I do in my strategy, very low tenant turnover because you have happy tenants.
Got it. What about like, let's just say, who in here owns a rental? Do you own a rental? Do you own a house? Do you own a house?
Rental and a house.
Okay. Let's go for this guy. Do you think, what's your name? Easton.
So you're the tenant?
No. Let's
Go
see.
ahead.
How would you coach him to buy his first house?
To buy his first house.
Yeah. Do you want to buy a house?
Okay. So this starts way before you talk to an agent. This starts way before you start making offers. You want to pick a market. Where do you want to live? You're buying a house, not a rental. So do you want the desert? Do you want the mountains? Do you want the rain? Do you want the beach?
Here in Vegas.
So here in Vegas, right?
All desert.
Right. So then you go, okay, well.
Should he buy a house or a rental first?
So do you want to be a landlord? Okay, if the answer to that is no, it's buy a house. I'm not going to talk somebody. But if you want to be a landlord and you want to put up with tenants, toilets, and termites and all of the thousands of opinions that are going to tell you you're wrong, right? So now it's a rental. I personally am a fan of what is called house hacking.
Do you know what that is?
So I'll give you 2 versions. The first one that I was going to do but doesn't work in my market, because you're right.
I know.
Single family houses don't cash flow. I was going to buy a house, live in it for a year or 2, and then buy another house and move, rent the first one out. And that's called house hacking through it. Because when you buy a house, if you buy a rental, you have to put down 20 or 25%. That could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I can explain it way easier.
But if you live there, hang on, if you live there, you get to do owner occupied. Yeah. So low down payment, better interest rate. I bought what's called a duplex. I'm trying to talk like they don't know any. Right? So it's 2 units, 2 basically houses connected, or 2 houses on one property, a house with an ADU, right? You buy it, you get the same lending, owner occupied. You get to put down, if it's a house with an ADU, you only have 3% down. If it's a duplex, you need 5%. So how much does a house cost in Vegas?
$400,000. Yeah,
$450,000. How much do you think a duplex cost? $500,000. So it's a little bit more, right? So if you paid $450,000 for a house, the rent's not going to cover the mortgage. But if you buy a duplex, after you move out, 2 rents should cover the mortgage.
Pretty close,
And within a few years, make some money.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can agree there.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to move. This is how I would do it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to. Maybe you make more money than I do. If you can save the 20% down to buy rentals, I'd probably buy a rental before I bought because you start the ticking time clock of having rental income on your tax returns.
Yeah.
Because your biggest barrier to buying a house is they're going to say you qualify for this much, right? So make up a number. How much does somebody make living here in Vegas? Don't give me yours.
Say 48,000.
So 48,000. So 50,000, right?
Yeah.
Really hard to buy a $450,000 house when you make 48,000.
Exactly.
So you're probably going to be out an hour and commute if you buy a house. That doesn't sound fun. But a closer duplex, you're going to save. If you're at 48,000, right now I'd probably have roommates, unless you have wife and kids, right? I'd have roommates so you're not paying more. I would drive an old car, not have payments. I'd save as much as I could until you get the down payment for a duplex. Live there for a year, because what's your rent right now?
I'm living at home right now.
There's a family.
There you go. You're house hacking. You could have explained it quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. House hacking is you have roommates. That's what house hacking is.
That's not what house hacking is. That's
Okay.
why I never let anybody go first, because they say
Okay.
roommates. I've never had roommates.
Okay.
And I've house hacked 3 times.
In
Roommates
a duplex.
is there in your unit.
Yeah.
I have a duplex.
You could house
fenced
hack
yards.
in a single family house where you rent out the rooms,
True.
or you house hack a duplex. You know
There you
what a
go.
duplex is? You live in one and you rent out the other one. But let me ask you this.
Could you still qualify for like first time home buyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
to a 4-plex.
Yeah. Okay. I just want you guys to understand the average American.
That makes 77,000 a year, not
That-
48.
48, whatever. If you don't mind me asking, at the end of the month, how much do you have just set aside as pure savings that you don't have to touch? Pure net savings. And it's okay. If it's zero, it's okay. 25,000. Okay.
So you have saved.
Okay.
So
But,
it take a while to get there, though, right? Yeah.
so I'm saying at the end of the month right now, how much do you usually set aside? $800. Okay. So
Do you have Netflix? Hulu? Well, no, you're living at your parents' house, right?
yeah.
Okay. So average American, not everybody's doing that.
Yeah. I would say that's about average though.
I don't think people can save 800. I think you're doing great.
Oh, you think that's high?
Yeah, that's high.
Okay.
I think you have to make life adjustments. Like,
That's
do,
just because I'm not paying rent.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Correct.
if you were
I'm
paying
going
rent,
out in March to my buddy's house,
yeah,
and I'm renting a room for 9.
yeah. So you're
so
gonna
now
be
your
house
savings
hacking.
disappears. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of people move out of their parents' house, pay $2,000, live on credit cards, have a car payment. You are absolutely right. Average
Yeah.
American's never going to do it. 0.8% of people reach financial freedom before 65.
0.8.
0.8%.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's not average. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We don't come to one rental at a time, which is the event that we're at here today,
Yeah. All
Right.
right.
because of the average person.
Okay.
We're here for average, everyday millionaires. The person who's willing to go no vacations, I had no streaming. So my poor kids grew up.
I don't think you need to do that. That's my problem.
You don't need to, because
That's why
you're an
you need to flip-
entrepreneur. I'm a W2
You're an
employee.
entrepreneur too.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You and Zuber are fake people. Zuber is an entrepreneur that disguises himself as this W-2 guy. Oh, I'm just a W-2 guy. What job does he have?
Yeah,
Does he
after
get paid from
owns
this?
rentals. I don't do.
Do you get paid from your rentals?
from a rentals a decade
So then
later?
you have a business. You're an entrepreneur.
But did I have an
disguised as a
entrepreneur?
W-2.
Did I have an entrepreneur when I got the first duplex?
Yes, as soon as you get a business, you're an entrepreneur.
Okay, but I had to save for the duplex. You're
Yes.
just telling him he can't because
But
the average person can't.
But you didn't get your wealth being a W-2. That's why you and Zuber are fake.
So
The only way to build wealth is to be an entrepreneur. Zuber is an entrepreneur. You're an
okay,
entrepreneur.
so I'm
They're
going to pull out a
entrepreneurs.
lie
He's an
from our
entrepreneur.
earlier interview. You ready?
Okay.
I asked you how much time do you work, and you were trying to be defensive, and you said an hour a day.
Yeah.
Okay, you wholesale,
Uh-huh.
you flip.
Yeah.
Okay, you're benefiting from a
That's
business.
not a lie,
hang on.
yeah.
You benefiting from a business you put in place.
Yeah.
When you started, you didn't have teams doing that. It was you doing that.
That's true.
Signing the freaking papers to close on a thing is an hour.
Not even.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got to meet the mobile notary. You've got to
Uh-huh.
get the paperwork done. Then it's got to be filed.
It doesn't take
You've
an
got to
hour.
verify. You've got
Yeah.
to you wire the thing. You got to
Yeah.
bring the cashier's check.
Wire
So
takes
your
2
hours there.
minutes.
All right, 2 minutes. It didn't start that in the beginning, because I'll tell you, it takes me 2 hours a month to manage my portfolio.
Uh-huh.
It was 20 hours a week in the beginning for one.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't start passive.
Yeah.
And you had to learn your market, and
Yeah.
you had to find the asset, right?
Yeah.
So it takes that skill set. But what do most people do? They work 8 hours, and then they stare at a screen at home, and they watch
Yeah.
some because they don't have any energy.
Let's
have to be
let's
able
see the
to do
truth.
that.
Is he an entrepreneur or is he a W-2?
Well, I'm
would you
retired
say?
now. I
What
don't
would you
even have a
say?
W-2.
It's tough. Like you were W2 to start.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
But I do agree once you become
a business owner, you're an entrepreneur. You're not a
Right.
W-2.
But as an entrepreneur, when you started out, did you work 50 hours a week or 80?
I probably worked like 50, 60.
50, 60. Okay, so it's a W-2. I'm doing 50, 60 for the first 10 years of investing. I did
Yeah.
at least 50 or 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
Okay, and did this on the side. What you and Ryan say, which is smart for the people who want to do this,
For
is
all of
go
them.
create active income.
Yes.
It's a brilliant thing.
That's what you need to
I
do.
had zero active income as
That's
a single
bad.
parent.
Yeah.
I had to be home for the kids. I had no woman in the life. It was me and 3 kids raising them. So to make money as a side hustle, like I said earlier, I had to play World of Warcraft and sell things online so I can play with my kids.
So you were an entrepreneur.
To play a game at home with the
Yeah,
kids.
but you made money on
I've
the
never
side.
flipped a property. I might sell a first one in the first time ever.
But
this
you
year.
made side hustle money. My point and Ryan's point is you have to grow your income first instead of like, oh, I'm not going to have Netflix. Netflix ain't doing shit, bro.
No, it's so step one of saving.
$100 how much is Netflix?
You don't even know. You
I don't
need
even
to.
know. I don't know. It's $5,
You're right. Step one
$20.
to saving money is increasing income. So
Yes.
for me, that was overtime. That's not
Yeah.
entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
That's work at the place. Climb the corporate ladder. I slowly, over a
Yeah.
decade, got demoted to president of the company.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, my last 2 years made great money.
Yeah.
But every year before that, I was just a worker guy showing up at work.
Yeah.
Is it entrepreneurial to go buy a rental? Yes, but it's
Yes.
way more entrepreneurial to go flip a property because here's why.
No.
I would never flip a property.
Well, that's dumb.
You stop working, the money stops coming in.
Okay, if you stop property managing, your money goes. If you stop doing your property management,
2 hours
your
a month?
stuff. No, that's the same. That's the same thing Zuber and all these guys say. Oh well, flipping houses is a job. Property management is a job too. If you have 30 tenants, are they just like here, no problems, here? No, you still have to manage the properties. You still got to
So
check.
if you're doing
you still gotta
short
get
term,
tenants.
like you do, that's a lot of work. If you're doing it at
It's
distance,
not a lot of work.
Managing your property manager takes you 5 times what it takes me to manage my properties. Guarantee it. You have to verify. You have to build a relationship. You have to hire slow, fire fast, change
Uh-huh.
property manager. I've never had to do any of that. I've never had a property manager make more on my rental than me, and you have. So there's
Bro,
a lot of
no,
things you're
no,
doing with your
know,
rentals.
That's fake news too. You don't know what my property manager makes.
You talked about it earlier, and you said, "Yeah, that's true." I'm going off of what you said.
In a emphasis, like, sure, I have a property manager on my Kansas City properties. That's it. All my other ones, I self manage, which is it's a disaster. But my point is,
So you said earlier in a previous video.
this is my point. All these guys are fake. They all say, "Oh, you could work a W-2 and buy one rental at a time." Yes, you can, but it's significantly easier to learn how to make a lot of money. It's easier for him to go learn
You
how
think
to make
it's easier to
100.
make a lot of money?
Yes, it's
I
easier.
call actual bullshit
Oh
on
my
that.
God. Is it easier to make a lot of money at once or a little money over a long period of time? Let's ask him and you.
Can you make $200,000 next month? He
No,
can.
no.
He can.
No.
That's the
That is
mindset.
true. No, listen. Is it easier to make $100,000 in a year or $1,000 a month for 7 years? Exactly. It's easier to make a lot
So
of
why
money
aren't you-
in a short amount of time than it is to make a little bit of money over an extended amount
Why
of time.
doesn't everybody in Vegas make $100,000 a year if it's that easy?
Mindset.
Mindset, right.
Yeah.
So we're working on mindset, the average
Yeah.
person. We're looking for those people that'll step out. Earlier, I asked you how many markets you were in, and I want to point out something.
Yeah.
You said you're in 3 markets, right?
3 markets.
Okay. When you became
Great markets.
when you became a flipper,
Yeah.
you became a master at flipping.
Yeah.
You had to, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Flipping is your market. Wholesaling is your market. You have 3 different real estate markets. You have course markets. You're so
Those are different
spread out
businesses.
that you can't manage your rentals like a master would manage their rentals.
That's true. That's true. Why? Because they don't make any money. Why don't I go flip a house and make $200,000 like you said?
That you get
Or I could
taxed?
sit here and when you make money, you pay taxes.
Sure. No, I don't.
That's another thing.
I haven't paid
All
taxes
these
in 10 years.
All these gurus are trying to sell you pay taxes. Guess what, brother? If you make money in the United States, you're going to pay taxes. I don't care what guru tells you anything different.
let's
so you don't
clarify a
pay
little bit.
taxes. So you make
This is
240.
the first year I made taxes. paid
Oh,
taxes.
so you are going to pay taxes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly,
'Cause
because
like
you
you,
made
you make
money.
so much, right.
Exactly.
But I've had a decade where I didn't have to.
Because you didn't make money.
No.
Oh my
So-
God. You're telling me that you made net income
So
and you
last
didn't pay
year was
taxes?
240. No, because of depreciation and write-offs.
Okay.
The previous year was like 220. That's the one I didn't pay. This one, 2025.
You're
we're
going to
going
pay.
into this year.
Yeah.
I'm probably
You
gonna
skipped
pay.
a year. Besides that, the rest
So I
of the
skipped
time,
a decade. The whole time I've never paid taxes.
because you didn't make money. You didn't appreciate $240,000 worth of income.
Not in the beginning. No.
Exactly.
So, but here's the thing. Here's the difference. How much work does it take to continue to flip, to manage your team, you have employees. You know what I have?
You have employees too.
Mailbox money.
Your tenants are your employees.
Right. That I don't have to talk to, but once every 2 or 3 years.
That's
so so what you're missing, if I went in did a flip and I came to you and I said, hey, I didn't get the repair value right, the repair time right, the ARV is not what I want. You would go, you need to learn, let me teach you, right?
Yeah, so I would say you're going to lose money.
To make money on a rental, you need to master it. So when you target your rentals, tell me your buy box for a rental. Just 5 years ago now, whatever.
5 years ago, let's say I'm going to buy if I'm going to buy a rental, it has to be the 1% rule. So
okay. So you went straight to math. 1%. That's the mistake. Here's my criteria.
That's the mistake?
Math is number 17 on owning a rental.
What's the first?
The first one, as similar to a single family house as possible, because what's the tenant turnover for a house? 7 years. What's the tenant turnover for an apartment? 2 years. You don't even know that because you don't own rentals. You own rentals as a side hustle to your business.
Yeah.
I own rentals as my business. So then,
do
all of your properties have washer dryer hookups? Because if they don't, they're looking
That's number
for a
2
place.
Before math?
Yeah. Then do you have a pet friendly fenced yard? Because I have tenants in place that were in the house 26 freaking years. Then I buy it. They're there 10 years later, passes away. I finally have a tenant turnover.
Oh, damn.
Because they don't leave. It's like a single. Do you want to own in a good school district?
Honestly, I don't care.
So most people don't care. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to own in a good school district because the taxes are higher and the turnover is going to happen because your kids hit a certain age. When do your leases end? When do you like your leases to end?
In a year? I don't know.
So what do most landlords want?
In a year? I don't know. 2 years? 3 years?
What time do leases usually end? In the summer. Why?
No idea.
Because it's easier to find a tenant.
Okay.
I have my leases end in December.
But how can you determine that? If your house is vacant, you're going to rent it out.
See, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. We're in California, though. That's a little different. If you're in Boston, it's a frozen winterland for 3 months.
Yeah.
They can't move in the winter.
Yeah.
But all my leases end in December or January because tenants don't want to move. So I have a structured business on the type of property, when the leases are.
Yeah.
I have 1/3 military, 1/3 Section 8, 1/3 working or retired. So I've diversified that way.
Yeah.
My tenants are spread out at least an hour in a circle, not close together. So the base closing or the port going on strike doesn't impact me. Like I've got a detailed plan to own rentals, and you bought something because of the 1% rule. Not one of my properties came close to the 1% rule. And 10 years later, I never have to work again. I just did 3 months in Thailand, which was a total of 2 hours. Until the last week, I told you I had a roof fail. That was like a phone call. So I put a little bit of time into that.
Okay.
I won't go there. I'm not putting on the roof. The tenants paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
In our earlier video, I said $5,700 a month to set aside for that.
Yeah.
I didn't even spend 40 grand last year. So I've got tens of thousands for the next repair.
Uh-huh.
So you have a business that you run. I have rentals that I ran to build.
Yeah.
But in ownership, it is as close to passive as I've seen. I'm like, I don't need iron lung like I'm going to lay in a bed and the machine's going to breathe for me, passive income.
Yeah.
I can handle a text from a tenant. True.
Okay.
So we're both saying you should own a business.
Yes. Exactly.
What I'm saying
That's all
is
we're
that
saying.
you shouldn't become an entrepreneur to buy rentals. You should buy rentals. Your W-2 is the key to your prison cell. And what most people do is they decorate the prison cell. And they think, I got a 401k, I get a paid vacation, I get a company discount, I get all these reasons to have this job. And what we did is we thought, how do I use my money to buy a rental?
Yeah.
How do you use your money to buy a flip or how do you fund your first flip? How are the creative ways you've done it? Ways I don't know, right? I can totally admit that. So is it a business to start and grow? But yes, but we had different goals on the outcome. I wanted time freedom and you want
money
wealth
freedom.
And bragging right on unit count and maybe generational wealth if you have kids.
Fake news. I wanted money freedom. I don't want to fucking not pay for Netflix. Let me go live with my mom.
That's for a couple of years.
I did it too, so no offense to you. But let me go live with my mom. Oh, I can't take my wife out to dinner. Oh, my kids can't have this, can't have that.
Would you ever house hack if you were starting out?
Hell no.
See, so that's the difference.
Hell no.
You're not willing to do the sacrifice. So instead, you went
I'd rather just go make money.
Work sacrifice.
There's no shortage of money in the United States. Did you know that?
That's the mindset difference.
Did you know that? There's no shortage of money in the United States.
So then why is the average
cutting
income,
Netflix is not like gonna move the needle. How much is Netflix? Does anyone in here know?
I name that because there's 13
it's
streaming
$15
services.
a month. Okay,
There's
$15 a
13
month ain't
streaming
doing nothing for
services
nobody.
that
You can't
people
even
do.
go buy breakfast for $15.
But it shows you the mindset. If you have all of the streaming services,
That's a
and you have the
scarcity
new cell
mindset.
phone, and you have a car payment, which means premium insurance because the lender's going to requirement.
Okay.
And you say something like, "I want to own a house because I need a forever home."
This is
that
the wrong
person's going to work
mindset.
until they die.
Let's debate that. Let's debate that because I feel like that's an
Mindset.
easier debate. The scarcity mindset is I'm not going to pay for Netflix. I can't take my wife out to dinner. My kids need to live on a budget because
So you
I'm
have
scared to
selective
go
hearing,
because I'm scared to
right?
make more money. No, I'm not saying you.
You
I'm
only
saying
hear- no,
in
you only-
general.
so
I'm
because
saying
I
in
said-
general,
what did I
that's
say
what
is-
most people think. And that's what I hear a lot of preaching is cut this, cut that, cut that.
What is the first step to saving? I said it earlier.
Grow your income.
Grow your income.
Exactly.
I'm with you. We're simpatico. There's like no difference there.
Okay.
But you can do both. Zuber was spending
No, you
all
need to
of his
blow
money.
all your money, dude.
Zuber was spending all of his money. He was living at the edge, like most people do.
Hell yeah.
Maybe even a little on the credit cards, right? I don't think he was, but most people do that.
I like that.
And he said, "I'm going to cut my expenses to 50,"
Uh-huh.
but he continued to work and make money. He's not
Yes.
stupid, right?
Exactly.
So
But it starts with making money.
you
It's
gotta
not start with
making money.
Netflix.
But here's what making money for me was:
Uh-huh.
get a consistent job to be bankable, so I can buy rentals.
I agree.
It wasn't go be entrepreneurial. I tried that twice and both failed. I'm not a business runner. I can own rentals and run it. I can't manage employees that have a. I don't tell my tenants when to show up for work,
You
when
tell
to
them
take
to
their
pay.
lunch breaks.
You tell them to
Right?
pay.
What's that?
You tell them when to pay.
No, the lease does,
Yeah.
right?
Who owns the lease?
And then the courts do
Yeah.
if they don't,
yeah.
right? So
The point is, my point is, what anyone listening to this, including him, trying to save money. There is not a shortage
So you
of
can't do
money
both?
in the United States. There is not a shortage of money. If anyone's listening to this, there is not a shortage of money in the United States. There's all the money in the world. You just got to learn how to go get it. Cutting your budget and sitting your ass at home, being miserable, not spending money, not being able to take care of your wife and kids with whatever they want, that's just lazy.
I'm
That's
the
not-
lazy investor. You've nailed it. I'm lazy. My
Okay,
book is-
I'm right
My
again.
book is Financial Freedom for the Lazy Person on Amazon.
I get it.
Okay, so I don't want to work as an entrepreneur. You think I'm gonna work as an entrepreneur? I don't
That's
want
a
boss.
sin. Being lazy is a sin. Are you Christian?
No.
Oh, well,
absolutely
that,
not.
okay.
I'm
No,
a
joking.
minister of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I actually do weddings for free. So
I
I'm
don't know
not
what that
Christian.
is.
But anyways, you
What
don't
is
have to know
that?
what that is.
Sounds demonic. I don't know what that is. What is that?
So does Christianity.
Oh,
You guys are the ones with the devil, so you're the ones that are demonic.
There are
Let's-
demonic Christians.
Let's go back to
but
there are. Yeah.
the saved ones are good.
Let's go back to real estate. 'Cause
Okay.
There you go. 'Cause
Okay.
I could tangent forever. I'm sure you could too.
Yeah. Jesus Christ is Lord. No, I'm joking.
That's okay.
Are you church hurt? Did something happen to you?
No, I have a brain.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to do a religious one? We could do that all day
But
too.
we could.
I'll give you a 20-minute one.
Will you go to church tomorrow? I'll bring you to church. We can make a video out of it. Are you atheist?
I am a minister for the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, which has just as much validity as the Bible because it
Okay.
was written 2,000 years ago. That makes it matter.
Okay. No,
It
seriously.
wasn't.
though.
It was written 14.
I have another channel that's called The Way. I don't know if
Okay.
you've seen it.
I have not. But
But-
you send me a link. I'm interested.
Yeah. I want to take you to church tomorrow. I want to take an atheist. Have you ever been to church?
I grew up Catholic. I was an altar boy.
Okay. So
Joined
you were
the Marine Corps,
Catholic.
and I realized.
So you
oh,
are baptized.
Yeah, and I confirmed.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Good job, brother.
All right, hey,
I like
doesn't
that.
mean-
You see?
Anyway, some people can be good people in spite of religion.
That's true.
So,
But can you be saved? I don't know. All right. Okay. Go ahead.
on
I'm
real
sorry.
estate?
Yeah.
All right. Now you got me off.
Yeah.
I messed up on this. Good job.
We got to
So,
take you to church.
Your argument is owning real estate is entrepreneurial. Go create income.
Yes.
How would you make brand new, starting out?
Uh-huh.
You're 18.
Uh-huh.
Make $200,000 next month.
Wholesaling?
Wholesaling. Okay. Which is not something that somebody can jump into without some training or a mentor.
Yes, they can. You can go learn
They
on
can.
YouTube. People learn every
Okay.
day on YouTube.
And how many times can that person try to get a deal under contract and use the wrong verbiage and get into hot water?
It's easy to find the contract. It's super easy.
Okay.
Ask ChatGPT, you can get a contract in 30 seconds.
So if it was that easy, more people would do it.
It is that easy.
What
People just don't
percentage
know.
of people that do their first flip you think make money?
Are you talking about flip or wholesale? Because
Flip.
flipping houses is completely
Totally
different.
different. Okay.
Flipping is hard. Flipping is hard.
So I said 200,000 next month. You said wholesaling. You think
Yeah.
an 18-year-old is going to move out of their house and be able to talk to people well enough, the average person
Yeah.
that can barely read at 18,
Yeah. Most of the people selling distressed properties are not freaking Harvard graduates.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I want you to take that in if you're watching this. The answer is just go wholesale and make $200,000.
That's not the answer.
Why do you have to make 200?
Why do you have to make 200,000? What if you make 30,000? I rather them go make 30,000 than cut their Netflix account.
Okay. So we are an average of most of the people we hang out with, right? And show me the person that's around the average people making $30,000 a month. When the average income, the median income,
I know plenty of people making $30,000 a month.
You do, because you have courses that attract people that do
I don't sell no course. I don't have a course.
Last time you sat in this chair a year ago, you said...
A year ago. Do I have a course right now? Do I have a course right now?
I don't want to do courses because they take too much work.
Yeah.
That's how you get around those kind of people. So yeah, will a person do that? Could they develop that relationship? Sure. But do they at 18? Do you know people right now who make $30,000 a month that aren't people that you go and interview? Like in your life? Friends, family?
Yes. Exactly.
So how much is that? 2. And you know 400?
I bet you he makes $30,000 a month. Exactly.
He can't
was
say.
he one of the two?
Don't even make eye contact.
One of the two?
Just sit there. Yeah.
Was he one of the two? So there's 3. He knows more people. That's the point. He knows more people than he even fathoms.
360,000. So you know 2 people making 360,000 a year.
What do they do?
Pest control. So Chandler David Smith, pest control. Yeah, he's a YouTuber that's how he got his wealth too.
Yeah.
Pest control is a killer thing. Get into sales, right? Get close to revenue. It is. But that's not what most people do. So you talk to the people that want to work in sales or wholesaling, and I'm talking to the people that want to drive the truck. We need firemen. We need doctors. We got a dentist. We need those kind of investors who love their job. That's the thing I think is a lie. People that lie to themselves. I love my job. Nobody loves their job. But they love what they do. They have to be there for their family. They need the benefits. They need the whatever.
Yeah.
They can save for a couple of years and buy a rental. They're not going to go out and wholesale. They're not going to go out and flip a house. They're not going to go. They should. Sure, they should. I probably should have too.
Exactly.
But instead, what I have now is time freedom for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Without ever having to work again. After a decade of investing. I didn't start till I was 40.
And you did a good job. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying that now the younger generation, it's not the same game. It's like me saying, hey, bro, go buy Bitcoin. If you just buy Bitcoin, you're going to be great. I bought Bitcoin in 2005 for $25 and now I'm rich. It's the same equivalent that these people today are trying to tell these younger people like, yeah, just go buy rentals. It's like, it's not that hard, bro. Like,
so no, none of us are saying it's not that hard. We call it the 5 years of suck to even get started, right? So
5 years of suck?
It's called 5 years of suck. It's going to suck. Not
That's what I'm saying.
Flipping or wholesaling, it is going to suck. So
we're saying the same thing.
Well, kind of. You're saying rentals are different. If you bought in 2026, no matter how, 20% interest, it doesn't matter. Twice what the property's worth. You wait 30 years, what's that going to be like? That's the same from 1980 to 2010 to 2050. Yeah. That's what we're saying. It's a 10-year journey. And everything you're talking about is now, fast. Maybe it's a millennial thing or a Z or whatever you are.
No, but it's a reality thing.
I come from the people whose parents had pensions.
It's not a millennial thing. That's the problem with the older generation. They're like, go buy a house. And it's like, bro, the average person can't go buy a house.
So this is why you got to interview Millennial Mike. A millennial police officer working in a high cost of living area, buying at a distance, not flipping, not wholesaling, reaching financial freedom in less than a decade. Still possible, happening right now.
I don't know who that is.
He's in the room. You're going to interview him next.
That's
okay.
Are you retired yet? Nope. So he's not financially free. So you need to give me an example.
Choice, right?
So he's documenting his journey from starting from 0 to this is what it was like at 4 years. This is what it's like at 8 years now. Yeah. 7 years. And then in 2 or 3 years when he's retired, he'll be making that. So me, it was like.
But again, it's hypotheticals. I'm talking about, I want to see proof.
Well, this is me sitting in the chair. I started at 40
and you
broke.
You did it 20 years ago. And I'm saying.
No, I didn't.
How long
I retired 3 years ago. I started in 2013. So it's a decade.
13 years ago.
13 years, right.
Okay.
And retired in 22.
My bad, not 20, so 13 years ago.
And
that's good. Today, you did it good. I'm not saying what you did was wrong.
What you won't hear is if you start today, what graduating class did I say they were in? 2036. That's what you can't wrap your head around.
2036 because again, you're saying for you, but you were buying houses so cheap.
No,
it's not the same.
My wage was $17 an hour. Who's making $17 an hour today?
How much was the first house you bought?
$300,000.
And what is it worth now?
6. It's doubled. People make more than double $17 an hour. You can go out right now and become a truck driver. They start at $41 an hour. Prevailing wage here in Nevada, $56 an hour.
What's your interest rate on that house?
Because I'm not stupid. I refinanced in 2020. It's 3.
It's 3.
So
can he go get a 3% interest rate? No.
he can get a 5.
He can't buy a
down.
$300,000 house at a 3% interest rate. That's worth $600.
You
did it good. I'm not saying what you did was bad. It was good.
I'm not saying go buy it in a $600,000 market. You can go to Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana is trash.
Oh, you think? Nice. We have the king of Gary here. That's why you would say that. So, a turnkey rental, tenant in place, rehabbed by somebody is about 120. So it's not 300. You're buying a rental, 20% down, 120.
That's a job, bro. To be out there, that's a business.
That is a business.
That is a business.
You say people should start a business. Thank you for agreeing.
I don't think they should start that business.
No.
I would rather them go wholesale a house and make $10K than freaking.
I know people who've tried wholesaling for years, never made a penny. Not a penny. And you know what? I've been buying rentals for over 10 years, had a YouTube channel for over 5. Dion Talk Financial Freedom. I've never had a wholesaler bring me a deal that was anything that I would buy. The wholesalers that I know, that have met, that interacted with, they're wholesaling a deal because they're too embarrassed to put it on the market because they know it's a bad deal.
How can they put it on the market if they're wholesaling?
That's what I'm saying. The seller wouldn't put it on the market. The wholesaler is trying to find an idiot to buy something overpriced that no one on the market would actually buy.
Seller. Got it. You're saying the seller would.
The seller doesn't know.
I'm saying
the wholesaler tracks down the seller
to
do the deal. And so the wholesalers that I meet found a seller that is like, sure, if you got that much, of course I would sell it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pay that. So I see wholesalers that aren't making money all day long. You might interact with the few that are.
Yeah.
I see people who buy rentals that aren't making any money because they do things like, I buy a single family house. I don't care about washer dryer. I'll do it in 3 different markets. I'll do some short term. I'll do some long term. I'll do it in California. Like you make
California's
decisions.
the best state in the world, brother.
My brother invests in Kern County and he's doing fine.
Yeah.
But so it's possible there. But so somebody's investing successfully in every market.
Yeah.
But most people aren't that person.
Yeah.
And you want the average person to be able to do this. I don't think the average person is an entrepreneur. I think less than 8% of us are. But several studies point that out.
I don't know the facts on that, but I would say you are an entrepreneur disguised as a W-2. Mike Zuber is an
So if I'm telling somebody you're a worker, you're working.
Do you make money
job,
from YouTube?
Well, now 5 years later, I get $700 a month from YouTube. I can retire on that.
That's entrepreneurial.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's really, I don't know. I can tell you why I do YouTube. It's not the money. And I know everybody says that.
Yeah.
But so I went broke, debt, 10 years later, retired financially free, right?
Yeah.
That feels really good. I'm not going to give everything away so I could do it again.
Yeah.
But if I meet somebody that's never thought about it.
Hell yeah.
And
How old are you?
24. You talk him into wholesaling.
Yeah.
You get to experience all the deals he does. You might not make the money, but you get to feel his excitement. Yeah. Every time I meet somebody that buys a rental, 2 years later they buy another one. They eventually cash out their 401k, buy another one. They're like 5 years in now. I'm going through their journeys. That pays way more than $700 a month from YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Last thing I want to talk about is just mindset, because you went through a divorce. You lost a lot. Can you just tell us all the hardship you went through? And then. So
one of the times I talk about the hardships because most people say, because I only have one leg, I can't be an investor. Because I'm a deaf, I'm hard of hearing, I can't be an investor. Because I went through a divorce, I can't be an investor, right? Everybody's got their reasons why life sucks. Yeah. Right. And we can let that be the reason. And so that was my hardships. I was 40, I'd gotten divorced.
Oh, dang, you're 40.
Well, I'm a multiple marriage kind of guy.
Hell
so
yeah.
I've never been able to, I can keep a house and custody of the kids, never been able to keep a woman. I'm the problem. But found out about the bad debt, then got laid off, right? The Marine Corps downsized after Desert Storm. Law enforcement downsized after 2008. So all the times I tried for a pension like my parents' generation did, it kept getting taken away. So that's the hardships. I think all I'm missing is a health concern, right? I never had like heart issues or diabetes or anything. Okay, that's good. But I started teaching at the CDL school, not making a lot of money, trying to figure out the bad debt, raising the 3 kids. To me, that was enough hardships. And for me, it wasn't, if I do this for a decade, I know that in hindsight. I had no idea. I told you earlier, if I do this when I'm old, I won't have to move in with my kids. I'll have a property I can sell every now and then to pay for hospice or old folks' homes, whatever they're called, when I can't work anymore. That was the start. Once the cash flow kicked in, which didn't happen until after year 6. So you're right. You can't just now. I know I'm right. Cash flow next month. But you pretend 6 years from now is not going to happen. That's what bothers me.
That's a good point. I'll give you that.
You make a lot of good points too. I'm not trying to just be argumentative, but So and here's where the hardship comes in. The first year, I don't feel like a real investor. I moved from my house into an apartment and rent it out, right?
Yeah.
Well, a real landlord would screen tenants, have a lease. I couldn't trust strangers, so I rent to a friend. I don't want to have a contract between buddies, so no lease.
Hell yeah.
He's late rent became never in the first year, right? So it's that easy, right? Everything sucks. I'm transparency. I go to the house to have a face-to-face conversation with my friend. He didn't live there. He moved out, rented the house to somebody else with a lease. He was doing better than I was.
He's an entrepreneur.
Right, he's an entrepreneur. So I tried to quit. This is where there's luck in my story.
Okay.
In 2008, home prices went down for the next 4 years. I quit. I'm like, I can't be a landlord. I'm just going to work until I die.
Yeah.
I tried to give the house away, but I owed more than I could sell it for.
Yeah.
I was stuck with it. So what did I do? I realized I'm the problem. I went to YouTube University. I found one rental at a time. I found bigger pockets. I started educating myself. I looked for the Ryan Pinedas of the world, who's putting information out there that I can use. I educated myself, and then the next year was better, and then the next. So those 5 years of suck have to happen. It's got an idiot tax in there somewhere where people are going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Until you make the mistake, then you're like, oh, I won't do that again. And hopefully we make mistakes that aren't just complete deal breakers.
Yeah.
Massive bankruptcy or whatever. So that's the hardship. The 10 years getting there and then thinking I can find somebody, if they can be a wholesaler, if they're doing this kind of work, they're going to be salesmen.
Yeah.
Right? They can talk to these kind of people.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I go out here and I talk to the truck driver, right? The Marine Corps truck driver that can barely read and write. They listen to audiobooks because they don't want to read.
That's
Reading's
me.
too boring, right? So
That's not,
that is
entrepreneurs
not
aren't
you.
usually smart.
That's not you. No, that's
Bro,
true.
I am an idiot.
I'll give you
I
that.
dropped out of high school.
Class C students make the best entrepreneurs. I'll give you that. That's
Yeah.
a Robert Kiyosaki quote, right? A students work for C
What
students.
is it? Classy what?
A students work for C students.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
you end up
I'm
being the
like an
boss.
F student.
I get it.
I'm like
But
a 0 grade student.
so was I.
Yeah.
1.1 GPA just so I can get in the Marine Corps, right?
Damn.
But there's a lot of us out there that don't want to be entrepreneurs, don't want to work in sales, don't have the personality to work in sales, the speech pattern, the looks, the whatever it is. Okay. They're never going to be entrepreneurial. They're not entrepreneurial. They're never going to be in sales, which is wholesaling. It's a type of salesmanship. Okay. Flipping is a type of salesmanship. You're selling yourself to the contractors on every job they do.
Yeah.
You're negotiating, right? There's people that don't do that. But there is a way, instead of working more than 40 hours a week for more than 40 years and retiring less than 40% of what you made, you can save a down payment, buy a place, manage one tenant for a couple of years, save a down payment, buy a place.
Yeah.
5 years later, you finally start to see some cash flow. That's the struggle that you have. You'd like to do it sooner. I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to do deals faster than that. Learning how to manage one tenant for 2 years was plenty. Learning how to do two for the next 2 years was plenty. Now, 10 years in, systems in place, 5 handymen that handle everything that I don't even really interact with.
Yeah.
Leases in place, targeted long-term tenants.
Yeah.
It's when people say it's easy, I make it as easy as I can. That's not easy. And it is life-consuming to get there.
Yeah.
But once you're there, it can be free. I think yours is just as life-consuming to learn how to wholesale.
Yeah.
Right? So
100%.
you just gotta, you gotta
Wholesaling
choose
is not easy. Nothing is easy.
You got to choose your not easy.
Yeah. Any other questions you have?
You had, let's say, 100,000 saved up.
All right.
You buy a duplex for, say, a fourplex or a single family.
Okay, he asked so the listeners here heard, if you had $100,000 saved up, would you buy a single family or a duplex or a fourplex?
Okay. So while math is not the first thing I start with, we have to practice the math, not till we get it right. You have to practice it till you can't get it wrong, right? So if you're looking at a house, a duplex or a fourplex, which one has the best return? I would prefer the single family house because of the lowest tenant turnover. Then I go for duplexes that are like that. If it's your first one, math says get a fourplex because you can get 10 loans in your name. That means you would have, if you got 10 of them, you'd have 40 rentals. But I wasn't making a lot of money. And my mind said, if the tenant doesn't pay, I can pay the mortgage on a duplex. So I went for duplexes. It was 7 years in that I finally went for a fourplex. So if you have 100,000 and a duplex is
500,
20% down would be all of your money.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that. I would do the house hack. So you put 5% down, 25,000. So you put 25,000 down, keep reserves, have money to handle your eviction you might go through and your repairs you're going to have to do. Get that duplex for 2 years, maybe another duplex for 2 years. Then those triplexes and fourplexes start to look good because you have some cash flow, some experience. You'll know how to screen your tenants better. It sucks to start slow. Everybody hates it. when everybody asks me, so if I did start today, what would I do? Exactly what I did before. I'd have to find a job. I wouldn't be entrepreneurial. I wouldn't go out and try to sell something next month. I'd go drive a truck for 2 years. 2 years from now, buy a duplex. 2 years later, buy a duplex. And in 10 years, I'd be retired again. You can do it way faster and have way more income.
Did you get a clear answer?
I would say so. But I feel like I'm more entrepreneurial minded.
Exactly. Amen.
Like right now, there's 3.5 million businesses for sale.
Yeah.
So you could buy a business, yeah.
Seller finance. That's a bow. That's what, my dad owns a street printing company.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to seller finance that from him.
Yeah, that's brilliant. When the company pays for the business because you use the revenue to pay for it. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I want to get into real estate. So that's why.
Okay, I want to ask now. I want to go. I'm gonna say the next level up. What were you gonna say?
I got a question.
Okay, another question. Yeah.
And we'll repeat it.
So
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that the reason why my generation, this up and coming generation, is so lazy.
How old are you?
27.
27. Okay.
The school system is just broken. It only teaches you how to be a worker.
Do you want to or you want me to?
Well, what's the question?
It teaches you how to be a worker bee and everything.
He's saying the school system's broken.
How much do you think, because of the differing argument in entrepreneurial versus
W2.
slow and steady and all of that,
Yeah.
how much do you think the school district and the school system affects the mindset aspect of chasing after some of those things?
What would you say?
So the question
probably
is,
gonna have the opposite
how much do you
answer.
think the school district and the school system set us up to be employees instead of entrepreneurs? Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's 100%. That you can find your way out of it
I would say no.
is shows a certain character trait.
Yeah.
So this is a quote from an idea from Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So we were all a farmer nation. Money was made from farms, and you had kids, and when you got old, your kids retired you, right? So the factory started growing, Ford, the centers, and they said, we're going to pull people off the farm. How do you do that? Well, you got to get them in the mindset of working in a factory. So what is school? 5 days a week, bell starts it, bell ends it, lunch break, just like a factory. Then they go, if you want to come in off the farm, we'll pay you a pension. Those have gone away, but that was to pull them in off the farm. So the whole school system, the Rockefellers and Ford said, that's why there's so many Ford middle schools, thousands in the country. And we will build schools for you. But the caveat is, don't teach finance. This is the system. It's a 5-day school work week, just like that. So we are trained from kindergarten to do that. So it takes people like you making content to find the people that don't know there's another way.
Hell yeah.
And so that's what you need to be there for. The person who could be, I'm more entrepreneurial. If you don't see this kind of stuff, you just think the business and work at a job, and you don't even think rentals is an option. You just think pension or 401k,
Or saving
trap.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the school system's fault on purpose. Great question.
Yeah. I would say the opposite. So I just disagree with everything this whole side says. So
It's because I got a better haircut. You're jealous. I get it.
So for me, I went to school, high school, and I was like, bro, this sucks. Like, I would watch the clock. I'm like, bro, this freaking sucks. Like, it was miserable. And then when I got into the 9th grade, I was like, I just can't do it anymore. Like, I just stopped going to school. And actually, it's interesting. My 9th grade son is going through the exact same thing right now. Literally, he's like, dude, I don't want to do this. Like, I just want to do sales. He wants to have a business. So I believe some people are just born entrepreneurs. I believe we're all entrepreneurs at some scale, but I believe some people are like high functioning entrepreneurial spirits where they're just born that way. And I believe there are some people that are entrepreneurs that are asleep that don't even understand that entrepreneur is a thing. Like Grant Cardone opened my eyes when he was like, I remember I was living at my wife's parents' house, and I was just like, I got to save money. I can't go out to eat, blah, 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 blah. And I read one of his books. I forgot which one it was, but he was like, there's no shortage of money in the United States. There's no shortage of money in the United States.
10x.
You just don't know how to get the money. And I was like, oh shit, like there is not a shortage of money. I just don't know what to do. So instead of saving, I switched to like, how do I just make more money? And then I made 10,000. I'm like, okay, how do I make 20? Okay, then you 20, then 30, then 40, whatever. So I think the school system is not the problem. I think it's parents. I think most parents try to brainwash their kids, like, you know, get a job. My mom told me not to get into real estate. She was like, don't get into real estate because in 2008 there was a crash and my old realtor lost everything and blah, 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 blah. So I think it's more parents and people around you and just ignorance. People just don't know.
I think it's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I see both.
Yeah.
My thought always was after elementary school, I think that's when you have like specialists in middle school.
Yeah.
Where they start to develop and see what kids are really interested in.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought that by high school you should be interning in real life situations to really dictate if
Yeah.
you're actually down for something like that.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go to the next. Okay, so this is the beginner. How old are you? 35. Okay, we got a 35-year-old. He owns a single family house
And a rental.
So what's stopping you from growing your wealth in real estate?
It's just the next one.
It's just the next one. So what does that mean?
So basically, getting set up for success. So what I would do is, have the rental house, have that house. Now it's, just buying the next home.
Uh-huh. What's stopping you from buying the next home?
Basically, he just bought his next home. I just bought the next home, so it would be the next cycle where.
Are you gonna buy single family, or what are you gonna buy next?
I mean, with my wife, probably a duplex.
You're gonna house hack?
We'll see. We're on
Yeah.
the cusp. It's a marriage thing. So that's
Exactly.
There's an asset class I can help you really quick if you don't mind. I'll do it as quick as possible.
Go ahead.
So most investors miss this asset class because they think small multifamily. They think duplex, triplex, fourplex. They don't think single family house, but it's called house with ADU. But you have to search a very specific way. We don't know what the listing agent's going to call it. So you want to search. It's 2 houses on one property. They could be 2 5-bedrooms. Everybody thinks, what can I build? Not what exists. There's pre-existing ADUs. But you want to search for a house with ADU, DADU, JADU, accessory dwelling unit, auxiliary dwelling unit, granny flat, mother-in-law house, casita, all the things this listing agent might call it. Because those 2 units on one, your wife can go, it's a house, we have a neighbor. There's a fence, different driveways, nothing touches. So you lose the, I don't want to live next to somebody else with a duplex argument. And you get true single-family lending, because it's not considered small multifamily. You get a better interest rate. Just
don't exist
something to
anymore.
suggest. They exist everywhere. We did learn that.
Yeah, and my wife's a W-2 employee, so that's the thing. Entrepreneur, W-2, so we have best of both worlds.
Nice.
That's
So
good.
Kind of that, that 5-10% where her mindset's in the same place
Good.
too. But it's just, we're talking the average American, how, you said 5 years or make as much money, but it takes time if you're in this industry to learn your skill set and your craft. I mean, just like I'm talking about production.
Production.
Where it's like
He's talking about production.
Camera,
Yeah.
It takes years
kid
to get your
picking up a
income up. Yeah.
Correct.
The kid with the camera needs to learn sales, not video quality. That's the problem. Like the video quality thing, it's good, but it doesn't produce a ton of money. Like I know a lot of people that are very good at video production, but they make 3. Yeah, they don't know how to sell. They just.
Have you ever had somebody that is good at video and has succeeded?
Yeah, Omar El Takori. He's a great. But what does he do? He sells. He's on webinars selling. His whole Instagram, he's selling, and it's great. But yeah.
So I was going to wrap up with one thing, so
Yeah.
you can get on to your other interviews. I'm going to say one thing, and I'll let you finish.
For sure.
Because the finisher gets the strength, right? I like to say this to everybody, no matter how they invest, right?
Yeah.
And so this is to you and everybody watching this video. There is no one right way,
Correct.
but there is a one right way for you.
Correct.
So yours is entrepreneurial. Mine is entrepreneurial later.
Yeah.
Mine was W-2 to get there.
Yeah.
Sure, call me an entrepreneur. I don't care. I'll take the label. But it wasn't to get here. It
Yeah.
was work, overtime, save. There you go. And all yours.
That whole statement was wrong. No, I'm joking.
Perfect.
No, but you are an entrepreneur. But I would just say, dude, you got to make a lot of money. You got to learn how to hustle. You got to learn how to generate income. And you got to go to church, brother. You got to find the Lord. Can we talk about that for 1 minute? For
1 minute. But
1
I want to
minute.
do that at the other place.
Yeah. But like, okay, so why do you believe God's not real? Or do you believe God? What do you believe exactly?
So let me run you through a quick scenario. All
Okay.
right. We exist as humans way long ago, right?
Uh-huh.
So first there were 13 sons of God born before it was Mary and Jesus. There were 13 religions based on immaculate conception.
Okay.
All right, so those exist. So I don't want you to steal my stuff. I don't want you to kill me. I don't want you to do bad things to my wife or daughters, right? So we don't have governments, we don't have police forces, we don't have cameras, we don't have all of that. So we come up with the Santa Claus theory. Santa Claus is always watching. You want your Christmas presents? He's watching you all the time. Be good or you make the naughty list. So we say religion exists. Evil overlord hates everybody, turns people into pillars of salt, wipes out Sodom and Gomorrah, floods the earth. Old Testament, fear, fire and brimstone, right? Churches form.
Yeah.
They make, the Vatican has $87 billion in gold and artwork, but they need your donation, right? This is the religions that exist. Well, then we evolve as civilization. We get police forces, we get laws, we get court systems, we get prisons, we get executions. And all of a sudden, we don't need this fear of always do the right thing or you'll be punished, right? And so we go Old Testament to New Testament. Loving God, forgiving God. I sacrifice my son. You come into heaven with us, right? So the evolution of society changed the need for religion. There are 4,400 deities that have been worshipped on earth. 4,400. God is one of them. You believe that 4,399 are wrong. I am only disagreeing on one out of almost 5,000. Like, that's how close we agree. I don't think it's Yahweh under the sea. You don't think it's the flying spaghetti monster. You don't think Native Americans with the ancestry stuff, or Zeus, Apollo, all of these things that have existed that they knew was the one and they dedicated their lives to. Now, if your religion makes you better, I ain't talking anybody out of it.
Yeah.
If it stops a bad person from doing bad things, but if you want bad people to do bad things, they will do bad things. But to get good people to do bad things, you need religion. Crusades don't happen without religion. 9/11 doesn't happen without religion. So the trade-off, the less violence is worth having religion around. So I'm not trying to stop religion from happening.
Yeah.
I joined the Marine Corps. I was raised Catholic. Drank the Kool-Aid.
Amen.
Joined the Marine Corps and I go talk to the chaplain. Chaplains have to be non-denominational because they're talking to Jewish people, Muslims, Christian, Catholic, Baptist, Mormon, everything, right?
Yeah.
But we had 5 chaplains on our base, and I would go to each one and I would say, what's wrong with the other chaplain's belief? And within 20 minutes, everybody can tear apart everyone else's religion. Their works, their timeline, everything. Absolutely prove it wrong. Prove it insane that they think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so I just took it one step farther. I don't believe in 4,399. So do you. You believe in Christianity. So all the other ones have to be somewhat wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're not Christian. They might not even be the right flavor of Christian. Right? One different out of over 4,000. That's the little bit of disagreement we have.
Okay.
There you go. That's my short as I can make it.
No, so my question was, what do you believe? So you believe there's just nothing?
I believe in evolution. We're still seeing it. My pinky is shorter than pinkies were in the 16th century. We have that from statues, artwork, right?
Okay.
Skeletons. Okay. Canines getting smaller as we develop tools. All types of evolution that we're seeing.
Okay. What does that got to do with believing in God?
So
evolution
why do you need
could
God?
be real.
Why do you
evolution
need God?
could be real.
Evolution
and God
can
could
be
be
real.
real.
Okay.
Those don't.
So
contradict
I
each
believe
other.
we are biological creatures that exist for the amount of time that we're here, which makes my life important and yours almost meaningless. Because you're living a life to have a better eternity.
Yeah.
I'm living life like this is the movie. I don't get a replay. I don't get a review later.
Yeah.
So I get to enjoy my entire life, but you're living for something that 4,399 people say is different than what you think.
Yeah.
Religions that have existed.
Yeah. I guess, so you're an atheist, would you say?
I'll give it that I'd be an agnostic because if if lightning came down and said, I'm the thing.
Okay, so
if you but it's not Christianity, it'd be Muslim. And now how do you feel? Or maybe it's the Mormons and it's John Smith's idea and those golden tablets, Joseph.
He still believes in Jesus.
Right.
You know, Muslims, Mormons, and Christians all believe in Jesus. So when you said
you're
4,000, whatever, you know that's wrong. All these religions all believe in Jesus.
And Zeus and Apollo and Yahweh.
Those are gone.
So you can name like 9.
Majority of billions of people in the world right now.
Yeah, 3. You put out Christianity, Mormon, and
the Hindus believe in Jesus.
You got to take out Jesus or the Jews because Jesus wasn't the Son of God. He was a prophet.
You take out the Jews, but they acknowledge that he existed. So who do you think Jesus was? And we're both logical. Me personally, we're both logical men.
Since no historian has been able to prove the existence of that person, I say it's a made-up story. Because here, let me give you a fact. I'll give you a fact. It was the virtuous woman Mary until the 6th century when syphilis started to spread. Civilization spread with civilization. So all of a sudden, Mary became the Virgin Mary because abstinence
you're saying
became
the Bible
important.
changed in the
It changed.
600s.
We're on the 15th version of the King James Version.
That's a translation.
It's a translation.
So
what
you're
is
telling me if we find
Okay,
a
so tell me this.
transcript that says Mary was a virgin before the 6th century, you're
No one
saying we
has.
can't find it?
No one has.
Okay.
Not one person.
All right.
No
I'm gonna
historian
find
has.
you.
So
I'm gonna find you.
let's go a bit further.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Everything in the Bible, Word of God, should be right.
Yeah.
Okay. So slavery is totally cool
Mm-hmm.
because it's allowed in the Bible and it's allowed in the Quran. It's actually recommended in the Quran that you make them your slaves. And then
The
the
Quran,
Bible
yeah.
says you kill all of the men, you take the women and children, you bring them to your house to be your slaves. This is in the Bible. The thing that you say is okay. Our moral system changed when all of the European countries ended slavery
Yeah.
in the 18th century,
Yeah.
including the United States.
Yeah.
We're the ones who ended slavery.
Uh-huh.
It still exists in some countries. It's
Yeah.
not generally your European type of countries.
Uh-huh.
But the Bible says that's totally fine, even though our morals have shifted. So morals shift. The Bible will shift. There will be a future version 100 years from now where slavery is not mentioned, where it's not you should go and take their women and children and make them yours and kill all the men of the household, which
Yeah.
is in Deuteronomy.
Uh-huh. I know. Okay. So, but you would be open if you had a religious experience where God was like, I am real. Christianity is the
if
way.
it was God,
Jesus.
sure, but if it was Shiva, I'd be right on board with that.
Okay, but
That's
you would be
how
open
agnostic is.
if Jesus Christ revealed himself to you, you'd be open to it.
I would go to a doctor and have me tested for hallucinogens, sure. But yeah, I'd have
But
to
you'd
have,
be open to it.
I'd be open to anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Can we end this with prayer?
So if I go to somebody's house and they want to say grace before dinner,
Yeah.
I'll absolutely do it because
Okay.
I'm in their house.
Yeah.
I'm in your house here.
Exactly.
Zuber's house. I don't think he prays, but
Does anyone have anointing oil? No? It's the other prayer.
I could teach you about the flying spaghetti monster
right.
if you want prayer. But go ahead.
It's all right. All
I'll
right.
pray with you.
All right.
I pray for you.
All right. All right. Dear Heavenly Father God, thank you so much, Lord, for this experience today, Lord. Thank you so much for all the men in this room, Lord. Thank you so much, Lord, for just this life that you've blessed us with, Lord, and these minds and these bodies that work and we're just able to work and be fruitful, Lord. And God, I'm just praying for my brother here, Lord, to just have an experience with the Holy Spirit, God. So in his dreams, while he's awake, give him a word or a vision that Jesus Christ is real, Lord, and that he is the way, the truth, and the life, Lord, and that with him, Lord, we could experience heaven on earth and heaven after death, Lord. We know that you are real. We know that you created us for a purpose, and we know that Satan is real and his lies are real, Lord. So just open my brother's eyes, Lord, so he could see the truth. And we love you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Let me do a little bit of adding.
Okay. It depends.
Thank you, Lord, for crib death, child cancer, famine, and strength
That's Satan.
inequality.
Yeah.
Because
that's
that all exists because of him too.
Just Satan. But
No,
it's
that's
all
all
right.
God's creations.
Will you go to church with me tomorrow?
I have interviews to do here, but
It's at
what time is it?
9:45.
I don't know. You got tinfoil for my feet to wrap around my feet so
No,
I
you
don't
don't
burst
need
into
tinfoil.
flames?
I think it'll be good. Will you go?
I'll sure.
Yes. All right. Let's go. This was all worth it.